So first of all, Dirk, just want to ask how much you're looking forward to being back at Anfield tomorrow.
Well, I think we're all looking really forward to the match tomorrow, and obviously me as well. It's great to be back in Liverpool, especially after a tough time, I think, for all of us with the COVID and everything what happened. It's good to be back in Liverpool. It's amazing to be here at this new training ground. Looks spot on, and yeah, of course, I'm really looking forward to a full stadium tomorrow at Anfield. Yeah, it's great.
And just on your Liverpool career, obviously you had a lot of standout moments during your time at the club. What would you say is your one favourite memory as a Liverpool player?
Well, it's difficult to choose one, but I had amazing nights with the Champions League nights and the games we played to reach the final after the penalty sessions against Chelsea. It was something amazing and something I will never forget. And of course, the silverware we get in the Carling Cup, not the highest prize you want to take. We prefer the Champions League at that time, but still to get some silverware in your hands at your Liverpool time was great.
And just when on your time at the club, when you first learnt of Liverpool's interest, what was your initial reaction to that?
Well, Liverpool was always one of my favourite teams in Europe. I already respect them a lot, and when Rafa called me, it was just before the World Cup in 2006. I was surprised, but also very, very happy. And there was only one thing after that phone call what I wanted. It was to join Liverpool.
Yeah, and just on your time at Liverpool as well, I'm just wondering, is there anything that surprised you about the club? I know you would have known a lot about Liverpool, but was there anything you didn't expect that happened when you were at the club?
Well, you know the club obviously from the television. I went never to the stadium before, but once you're in it and living the dream, as I can say, it was just amazing. The fans and in the stadium, the special nights. We were just talking about Champions League, but also, we went in pre-season to Asia, for example, and there were so many fans. And then you realize how big of a club, how big of a football club Liverpool is, and actually, with all these other things around Liverpool, it's actually more than a football club.
And you played in a lot of intense matches during your time, particularly in European games as well. I know a lot of people will talk about Man United as a big rival of Liverpool, but how did you find playing in those matches against Chelsea, particularly in the European occasion?
Yeah, that was an amazing time, and we had so many games against each other, so many battles we fought, and so many good memories. I also had a memory that we had to go to Stamford Bridge after we unfortunately lost at Anfield. I thought it was also a semi-final. And we go back there, and I thought Fabio Aurelio scored really quick in that game, and it was a crazy game with a lot of goals. I managed to score a goal as well, and that memories were incredible. Always big fights and on the highest level, and that's what you want as a football player. So it was a privilege for me to play so many intense games.
And you had so many high moments at the club. I'm just wondering, was there any moment you had, particularly low moment or challenging period for you that you found difficult to get through?
Well, the lowest moment was obviously also the highest moment. It was the Champions League final, and once you're in it, you want to win it, and we couldn't win it that day. So that was very disappointing. But also, to be on the highest level in the Champions League final was something great. I also had a difficult time because I remembered my dad passed away after the first season. And I struggled, obviously, but also on the pitch. And Rafa gave me a bit of time, so there was a tough period. But it was also nice that I had a lot of people, from Liverpool around the club, in the club, and also, of course, Rafa Benitez, who supported me. And I came back. I came back after that, and a memorial game was against Inter, where that was one of the first games I was on the pitch again, and I managed to score the 1-0, an important goal to go to the next stage.
And when the time came for you to leave the club eventually, how difficult was it to say goodbye to the city and the club?
Yeah, that's one of the most difficult things to say goodbye to a club. And I had 6 great years, and it was always my meaning to stay as long as possible. But I am a kind of player who wants to put his effort in to work for the club, and in my opinion, was just a little bit too much on the bench. So it was the right moment for me to go. So people remember me as the player I was, always giving 100% for the team, for the club, for my players and the manager and the supporters.
And just the final one, just throughout your time at Liverpool, who would you say was the most difficult player you came up against?
Well, I had many, but back in the days, John Terry was a pretty good defender. We spoke about Chelsea, and yeah, he was a really tough one. But I always liked playing against him because as a football player, you want to play against the best.